Hey, if you've got a manufactured home, a mobile home, etc., or you work on them, you really want to watch this video. I'm seeing a lot of comments indicating that some of you are doing some things that could lead to disaster. I'm going to tell you about it right after this. All right, now you might be wondering why I came up with this subject. Well, recently I did a video about repairing and getting rid of the batten strips in a modular home. And I'm seeing a lot of comments in that section indicating that some of you are making a huge mistake. So I wanted to do a video to try and catch some of you that haven't seen those videos, some of you that have, etc. Hopefully I can stop a lot of you from doing this, because it could end up costing you thousands of dollars and just a ton of work that you don't need to do. I'm going to cover what that mistake is. I'm going to cover what to do if you've made that mistake, how to avoid it, and some other options to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And I'm going to tell you exactly why it's so bad. And it really is. This is not clickbait, folks. So this could literally just about ruin your home and cause you to have to spend a lot of money to fix it. So what it is here's some of the comments that I'm seeing. And it's you guys talking about stripping the wallpaper off your walls in your modular home, your manufactured home, etc. If you have those kind of walls like this, where you've got the batten strips, so you got the 4x8 sheets and strips of trim everywhere, well, a lot of you want to get rid of that. And I show you how to in my other videos. So if you haven't seen that yet, be sure and look in the at the very end of this video. I'll put a link. It's going to be a little thumbnail that pops up. You can click on that and go watch the right way to do it, because you cannot just strip the wallpaper off. Now, why is that? Well, let's start with the fact that your mobile home, your manufactured home, etc., a lot of them anyway, the older ones, I think the newer ones are going to just regular old sheetrock, but the older ones with the batten strips, that is what they call vinyl over gypsum, VOG. And what that means is, normally, as you can see here in this illustration, normally drywall consists of a gypsum inner core with a brown paper layer on the back, and then on the front is a brown layer along with a white layer on top of that. Well, with VOG, you don't get the white layer of paper. Instead, you get the vinyl. The vinyl is adhered right to the brown paper. So what happens is, if you try to strip it, you're going to tear it down to the brown paper or further. I've heard some comments from some of you that you stripped your wallpaper and now it's just the raw gypsum core showing everywhere. What do? Well, I'm going to tell you what you do here in a second, but the reason you don't want to do that is that white layer, that's your finished surface. The brown paper is not. If you try to mud over the brown paper, about 20% of the time you're going to get bubbles like this. Brown paper is not meant to be mudded over. The white layer is. So if you strip that off, you've kind of messed everything up. So what is the right way to get rid of it? Well, you have to leave that vinyl facing on there. You just can't take it off. So in my other video, I show you how you can get rid of it. You can tape them and fill them. So be sure and go watch that if you want to see the full details on that. Now, let me tell you what to do if maybe you've already tackled a room or more and you've got some of that damage showing already and you're wondering, now what do I do? Well, it depends a lot on how bad it is. If you've just got maybe a small area where the brown paper showed through, but you didn't get all the way down to the white inner gypsum core, then you can just treat it with a product like this Guards product. For bigger areas, I don't recommend shellac. It's flammable and stinks really bad. For small areas, you could. For bigger areas, use this Guards, or you can pick up this Pro 999 RX35. Those will lock down that brown paper, and then you can go ahead and skim it and finish it and do what you've got to do. Now, if you've got all the way down to the white gypsum inner core, well, at that point, what you got to do is somehow reinforce that area. It depends on how big it is. Let's say you just tore off this much. Well, just put some, like some fiber fuse or some wide mesh tape on it to give it strength again. You're trying to replace that outer layer of paper, mud it, smooth it out, and then you're okay. Fiber fuse works good. Also, if you got a bigger area, you can order fiber fuse in wide rolls. I think it's 2 feet or 3 feet wide. And you could literally just kind of create a new blanket over the surface and reinforce it. Now that's one option. Now another one is if you've done too much already, you've destroyed a lot through your house, well, you're probably going to need to either tear it all the way off or put another layer of 1/4 inch or even 1/2 inch over it. Now when you do that, it's going to change trim spacing. It's going to create some problems. So go look around. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, if you have a door jamb and you put a new layer on, the trim is going to sit a 1/4 inch further out. And you're going to have a little gap where the trim used to meet up with the door jamb. And so you got to figure out what you're going to do with that. Often you can get a wood piece and filler. You cut filler strips on a table saw. It's kind of a pain in the butt, honestly, but it can be dealt with. Now, the way to get rid of it the right way, again, go watch my video and you'll see more of those examples, but the ways are: put another layer over the top of the existing after you pull all the batten strips off, or pull those batten strips off, drive all the staples, fill it, fill the big gaps, tape, and finish it. But you need to use hot mud on the deeper fills. So again, I'll explain all that in the other video. And I guess the final way would be to rip it all off and start over, but that's pretty expensive, pretty extensive. It's a lot of work. I don't really recommend it if you're looking at a return on investment. You're probably going to have so much into it in labor and time that on these modular homes, they don't increase in value that much, so you may not get your money back. Well, hey, I hope that helped you not do that. And if you did, comment down below if you have or you haven't. And either way, I hope I've helped you out, and I appreciate you guys stopping by. As always, I'll put links in the description down below, and I'll see you on the next video, everybody. Take care.